Hi guys, welcome back to Angel of Tarot. I am actually need to change this format, but that's okay. I'll just leave it like this. Who cares? All right. So I'm doing a Divine Feminine reading today, and the title is Divine Feminine Who Are Not Going Back. Okay? Divine Feminine Who Are Not Going Back. So let's take a look at what Spirit has to say to you today. Okay. Divine Feminine Who Are Not Going Back. Okay. You need some alone time. Look, water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Okay. This is only you in this picture. So it's like Spirit is really asking you a lot of things today. This message is for the Divine Feminine star seeds. You know, us who are up here in the 5D. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of views, but if I do, I'll be happy because I've been looking for guidance. I'm not sure about you guys, but I do feel the dimensional shifts, okay? Where you feel like you can't go back to how things were, but yet you're still like, well, what is happening though? Like, what am I gonna do? You know, I have to be in community with somebody. I can't just be out on this higher plane by myself, right? Okay, so this card says loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, and let God in. Okay? Let God in. And I'm going to read from the book, okay? This is going to be a special kind of reading today because, you know, we all need to fill our cups. So I'm going to see what Spirit has to say. Loosen your grip, okay? Loosen your grip. Okay. Here's this card. Loosen your grip. We are cyclic beings, and Mother Earth teaches us how to be human every day with the coming and going of the tides and the seasons. If you're clinging to anything, you're resisting the natural flow of who you are. The things we cling to are so often those we most need to let go of. The food, the substances, the relationship, the job, and the people pleasing. The things we cling to often cover up our most vulnerable space, the part where we're most afraid to leave empty, the part we guard and don't let grace into. But by keeping that space covered with something that doesn't serve us or clinging to it for fear of it not staying of its own accord, we prevent ourselves from receiving the things that will. A Course in Miracles tells us, whatever we leave empty, grace will fill. And the Buddha said, you can only lose what you cling to. Indeed, both are true. If this card appears, you're being called to find the courage to loosen your grip and give up control, to release your coping mechanisms and leave space for grace and God to enter, to surrender all that feels dense to the divine. Loosening your grip doesn't mean that what you're clinging to will go away. It may, or it may stay. But you can be sure that what is for you will find you, and you'll breathe easier knowing that you've shifted from relying on your own strength to surrendering to the grace of life. Starseed Soul Inquiry. What are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place. Okay? So, I said this was divine feminine who are not going back. So, Spirit is saying, what are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? Okay? And I am an intuitive reader. Okay? I wrote that title down. I usually don't even write my titles. I write my titles after. But today I wrote my title first, okay? Because it was received. Then I'm reading this to you, and I hope you play this back so you can get the messages that you need. But I didn't pick that card, okay? That card flew out of the deck. That card has a message for you. See, I don't pick my cards. I shuffle my cards. You know what I mean? So that the message that you need to hear comes out, okay? Now we have trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. You know? And this is such a beautiful picture here, too. Trust the wave you came in on because time is not running out. And it's just like, wow. There is so much happening that you don't know yet. And you don't need to be in a rush at all. Like, there is no rush. Like, let everybody else rush by you. Let everybody else run around in circles. Let them think that they are in control when you know who's in control. Let your spirit and your soul rest. You know? Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out for you, okay? I'm going to read this one too. I got time. See? I have time. Right. Here we go. So often, those who feel like they're here for... I want you guys to see this picture, that's why. Okay? So often, those who feel like they're here for a reason sense that time is running out, and they spend their life worrying that they might miss their moment. But the only way to miss your life or your moment is to spend your time worrying about missing it. It's never too late to answer a calling, and you're never too old. The tides of your life are magnificently orchestrated to come in and out in perfect unison. Don't race ahead and ride a wave that was never meant for you. You'll waste your precious time and energy when instead you could be enjoying your life. Everything has a season, and you're being called to trust the one you're in. Don't let impatience, comparison, competition, or paranoia disturb the seeds. It seems that everyone has anxiety these days, constantly scanning for something they might have missed or a possible threat. Keeping our mind and body pointed in the same direction as our soul is near impossible at such reactive speeds. Right now, you're being reminded to take a breath and trust the wave you came in on, to trust the season you're in. Time isn't running out. There's plenty of time. There's no rush, and it's never too late. Starseed Soul Inquiry. How can you trust the timing of your life a little more? How can you trust the timing of your life a little more? Okay. So these two cards go together. One is like, you're trying to be in control of your life, which makes sense. Like, of course you want to be in control of your life. You don't want your life to just like not have purpose. But life has a flow to it as well, right? So there are things beyond us that we're just not in control of. We don't control the seasons. We don't control when the sun rises and falls. We don't control if it's going to be hot, cold, sunny, rainy. We don't control so many things, but we trust God, right? That it's going to be good enough, The seeds are going to get moisture that they need to grow. The crops are going to rise. The field workers are going to get the fruits and vegetables to market. We're going to be able to work and make money so that we can buy those groceries and feed our families and sit around and make memories and even sometimes sit around and eat our depressions away. But at the end of the day, it's like, we're not in control of so many things, but the things that we can control are the things in our own life. Like, if you're feeling stressed out, you can control how you react to your stress. You can go for a walk. You can write, journal, take a shower, take a bath, call somebody who makes you laugh, like pull yourself out of it or whatever. But I also feel like you need to get a lot of rest. I feel like you're depleted. You don't have any energy here, okay? You're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, and community. See? You're not alone, but you are feeling lonely, right? The portal, doors are opening. You decide. Rewards and wild card. So be ready for something new to come. Opportunities, change. Something that aligns with who you are more. With who you are, because you've changed so much. So you can't go back to the spaces you used to be in and feel comfortable, because it's just not who you are anymore, right? Okay, cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. So we have a lot of cards that are saying about surrender, about letting go. And that's hard to do. It's not easy. Big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary and inspired ideas. Big picture thinking. Wow. So this is some major energy. So I do feel like you need to rest, because there's a lot of energy behind everything is like not moving right now. You feel like, how come things are not happening for you? How come things are happening for other people? And it's just like, it takes a lot of energy to get a train moving. It takes a lot of energy to shoot a rocket onto the moon. You know what I mean? You have to defy gravity. So that's how I feel with this card. It's about defying gravity. Like, yeah, people might have certain things that are easily attainable. Like, they can just get those things. But what you are doing, what you are a part of, and what you are creating is something brand new. It's something brand fucking new. Karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. Wow. I've never pulled this card in this deck before. And it's amazing. First of all, let me share it with you. So just the imagery of being on two earths at the same time. It's like looking at yourself and saying, I could have been somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, had I not made the right choices in my life, that could have been me in a bad way. But at the same time, making those good choices in life brings you into a good earth, into a better world. And you can say that you earned it because, you had to make hard choices while everybody else chose the easy route. But I am going to read from the book on karmic relationships, because I need to know what is happening. We all know that word karmic. It's used in different kinds of ways. Now let's see what this book has to say, right? Let's be researchers. Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. I'd like you guys to see this picture while I read it, okay? The constellation Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity and eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who were part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. Too many misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and mind and see things from a different point of view. When we go into reactive second guessing mode, instead of gathering the courage to open our hearts, we should admit that we may have reacted because of our own woundings and then find mutual ground. We're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and takes things personally. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through the conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. How can you soften your heart and drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see the similarities rather than the differences? Starseed Soul Inquiry. Which relationships do you find the most challenging? How can you see things from a different perspective? How are you being called to allow growth through the conflict? Wow. Okay. So we're hearing conflict. So this card is a strong card. This card is for that next level 5D. You know what I was just saying? That next level 5D. What is happening? Okay. People on that next level 5D, they are at the forefront of this thing called unity. Okay. It's really, really hard because we're all different. Right? So it's hard for us to be together. So sometimes it's like, this card is asking us to look at the whole situation with a lens of innocence, you know? And I'm getting strong vibes of just like, it's nobody's fault. If that makes any sense. I just feel like it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's like, even if you're not trying to hurt somebody, you're not trying to hurt nobody, they're not trying to hurt you, maybe it's nobody's fault, you know? Is that so hard to believe? It might be easier to believe, you know, this person did this, and that's why. And this person did that, and that's why. But what happens when it's nobody's fault? When it just is what it is. And it ain't what it ain't. You know? It's nobody's fault. But all I can say is that Divine Feminine has really invested her entire existence into who she is and what she believes in. Not everybody does that. Some people have a career, they have a job, they have something they're passionate about, they might run marathons, they might interact with people and interests that they have. But Divine Feminine, her life is her interest. It's not separate. Her life is her interest. How can I have a better life? How can I have a better life? You know, it's not about making money. It's not about taking anything from somebody else. It's not about being the smartest in the room. It's about a feeling. It's about a feeling that you have when you wake up and you say, I'm satisfied with who I am. I'm happy with what I have. I am experiencing good memories. These good memories are making me feel good, and I want to continue in this vibration. But when we look out in the world, there's so many people who are not interested in being happy. They're not interested in being healthy. They're not interested in feeling good. And it's like the sacrifice of having somebody is that you have to lower your vibration to be with somebody, to have somebody there to fucking listen to you when you know that person don't even want to listen to you. It's like the day you have to force somebody to listen to you is the day you don't need to be around that person again. You know? Anybody who's in your space should be absolutely like thrilled to be in your space. They should feel blessed in your space. They should feel unworthy in your space. And if they fucking don't, you should probably leave that fucking person alone because they're not aware. They're not aware. They are not aware. And that lack of awareness could be very harmful. Okay? This person's lack of awareness could be very fucking harmful. Let's see what else is happening here. I'm gonna open up to my Dark Angels Tarot deck because I need to see what's happening. You know, those were some really nice messages from Spirit talking about getting your rest. But I need to know other things too. Like, what is happening? What is happening here? You know, going to the next level and being an example and all that other stuff is great. But I'm like, listen, I want to be happy. You know what I mean? I want to be happy. I don't know what it's going to take in this world to be happy. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want something that's not mine. You know, I just want to be happy too. I want somebody to look at me and say, are you happy? Can I help you be happy? Not just like, oh, you should be happy with what you have. That's not love. That's like not how you make somebody happy. Like, you should be grateful. That's how I grew up. I grew up with this nasty fucking attitude around me that was like, I should be grateful to have food. I should be grateful to like have a person to care about me. Like, I should be grateful for these things where it's like, you know, I should already have those things. I was a kid born into this world. What are you talking about? I shouldn't have to be grateful for anything until I'm like 25. Like, you know, I was just abused by like people who did normal ass things and they wanted to get praised for that. Like, I don't know. This world is so crazy, the way that they can get in your head and mess your head up. You want me to be grateful that my boyfriend tells me the truth? You're supposed to tell me the truth. You're supposed to not cheat on me. I'm supposed to be grateful that you pay for dinner. You're supposed to pay for dinner. Like, I don't understand why I'm supposed to be so fucking grateful for shit that is a must-have. Like, you should be grateful that I fucking look at you. You should be grateful that I let you even touch my skin. You should be grateful that you fucking breathe my air. How about that? You know? These fucking people out here are insane. Let's get into this tarot. Let's get into the Dark Angels tarot. Because this angel is feeling dark today. Look, I'm even matching my cards today. Look at this. Look at this information. All right, we're already at 24 minutes. So I hope my camera don't cut off. Look at what came out. Nine of Swords right away. That's not good. Nine of Swords, very depressed, very unhappy, very tied up. Then we have the Four of Rods. This has something to do with your family, with your house, your home life, your family life. Feeling fucking tied up, depressed about that. It's stable, but it's fucking depressing. And then we have the Eight of Cups. Wow. Okay, this is the confirmation that this is beyond repair. Like the Eight of Cups is about walking away from something. Okay, this Eight of Cups is like it's like when you've had too much to drink. Okay, it's like drunk on the wrong kind of love, drunk on the wrong kind of substance. It's like too much of something not good. You've had too much of something that is just not good, okay? You've had too much of something that's not good. You're trying to walk away from that something, right? We got the Magician, yeah. In the past, you tried to create something that you thought was going to be like it. You thought this was it, but in this deck, this magician doesn't actually know what he's doing yet. So it's kind of like trial and error. Trial and error. Okay, Seven of Rods. Yeah, I still feel like a little bit of did I get it right? It's like how a kid wants to impress their parents. So I do feel like this relationship that you're in, you did it as a way to impress your parents, to say, did I get it right? You know, did I pick a good one kind of thing? Right. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Or is that the Page of Swords? I think that's the Page of Swords. Yeah, that's the Page of Swords. We have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords of this deck, it's just like, okay, he has a sword behind his back. So I feel like he's very like vengeful, revengeful. He's bitter. He is not afraid to like take action towards getting revenge. Like, hold on, I'll be right back.